When Melissa Fahey was carrying out renovations to her home in Westfield, New Jersey, she found a letter that didn't belong to her. Realizing that the envelope was decades old and never reached its destination, she opened it. And when she read the message contained within, it reduced her to tears. Fahey and her husband had not long lived in their home on Hazel Avenue in Westfield, but already they were undertaking extensive renovations on the property. The work they were doing was of such a size that they'd enlisted Fahey's father, Al Cook, who was in town to help. As Cook carried out some major work in the stairwell, he spotted something hidden in the ceiling above. He reached into the crack and grabbed it. It was an envelope, yellowing with age, and which remained unopened, stamped with the words, "Refused, return to sender." The postmark read May 4th, 1945, and the letter had clearly never reached its intended destination. The return address, however, was for the very house that Fahey and her husband were currently renovating. Although the letter obviously belonged to a previous owner, Fahey, a teacher of 6th grade science, opened it. The contents floored Fahey, and she knew she had to find the rightful owner. But with the letter having been penned 72 years before, where would she start? As a member of New Jersey Moms Facebook group, she went straight to the internet. Surely someone would have a lead on whoever used to live in the house. As it happened, within an hour of Fahey issuing a request for information, group member Carol Gross had tracked down Rolf Christofson Jr., living in California and working as a professor at UC Santa Barbara. The 67-year-old academic was the son of the letter's intended recipient, Rolf Christofferson Sr. As Christofferson Jr. explained to CNN in May of 2017, "Someone called me at my office. They just Googled my name because I have the same name as my father. Melissa asked me where I grew up and I told her. She told me she had the letter. This is how I found out." Fahey had the letter sent by overnight delivery to Christofferson Jr. It had been written by his mother, Virginie, to his father when he served as a Marine in the Norwegian Navy in the Second World War. Finally, 72 years after it had been sent, 96-year-old Christofferson Sr. heard the words within for the first time. "Dearest husband," the letter began. Indeed, it was a love letter, which by sheer coincidence had found its way to its intended recipient on the anniversary of its author's passing 6 years earlier. As if from beyond the grave, the note provided words of comfort to the widower. "I still have a few minutes on my lunch hour," Virginie wrote to her husband. "I was dreaming about you, so I thought I'd write a little love letter to my favorite pinup boy. Are you as lonesome for me as I am for you?" Yet, as well as the warmth of young love, the letter contained more practical updates. Virginie wrote, "I hope you're taking your medicine, my darling, because you mustn't get sick on us again. And please be a very good boy and stay away from the rum and Coca-Cola." There was a playful side to their relationship then, but also an added anxiety to Christofferson Sr.'s return home. "Sweetheart," the letter continued, "I'm longing for you to come home to Westfield, but I am a little bit afraid to see you again now. I'm getting awfully big on top, but I still don't stick out much below. I just look heavier all around now, but by the time you get here, I guess it'll be much worse." Virginie had in fact been pregnant at the time she wrote the letter. She explained, "I feel wonderful and the doctor says everything is perfectly all right and normal so far. I'm not a bit worried though. I just feel happy and proud to be carrying the baby of the person I love most in the world." Virginie was carrying Christofferson Jr.'s older sister at the time she wrote the letter. The lovelorn mom-to-be had lived in the Westfield home with her father while her husband was at sea during the Second World War. "I really feel as if I have a part of you with me all the time," she told her husband of the imminent birth. Virginie had worked as a copywriter at an advertising agency while her husband served in the Second World War. It was during lunch at the office one day that she penned the letter to her love. On his return, Virginie gave up her job to stay at home as a mom. "You will always be more important to me, and the two of us together, alone in each other's arms, will always be heaven on earth to me," the letter concluded. "I love you, Rolf, as I love the warm sun, and that is what you are to my life, the sun about which everything else revolves for me." "My father and mother wrote many letters during the war," Christofferson Jr. explained to Newshawk in May of 2017. "They were all lost when we moved to California in 1959. The one that Melissa found is the only remaining one, and that's why it's so important to our family." Fahey felt as though she had been invading someone's privacy when she read the letter, Nevertheless, she was determined to reunite the correspondence with its rightful owner. She told Detroit Free Press in May 2017, "It was so heartfelt and written in such a different time. You just wanted to read it slowly so you could take in every emotion." Christofferson Jr. explains how his father had taken on 3 jobs when he returned from the Navy, as he hadn't been eligible for the same benefits offered to U.S. veterans. The family moved from Westville to California in 1959 to take advantage of more affordable education for the children. The Christofferson family received another surprise shortly after they were sent the long-lost letter. Less than a month later, Christofferson Sr. was paid a visit by the Norwegian Council. Then he was given the Atlantic Star Medal for the part he played in the Battle of the Atlantic in the Second World War.